Hey, green group. Okay, so today we are going to go back and kind of review some of the stuff we were doing in our math time the last few months and see if we can refresh our memories on how to do some of this stuff because I know it's been a little while for some of it. And this week you're going to be doing a little practice assessment, which is just something you do without anybody helping you, just to check and see how much you remember. It doesn't mean you have to get them all right. It's just more like something that for us to look at to see how much you remember. That's all, okay? So in order to do that though, I wanted to kind of go back and refresh your memory a little bit so you can do the best you can when you practice your assessment, which is gonna look like this, something you've done before. Just something Miss Madeline made. It's got a few problems on it. I'm gonna tell you a little bit more about it later. So the first thing I want us to go over is when we did some addition with bigger numbers. So we're going to take a problem like this one, 46 plus 35. And we're going to talk about the steps that we have to do to be able to solve this problem. Now the first thing we're going to do is kind of split this problem in half into our ones place and our tens place. Do you remember that? Now who remembers which place gets to go first? I hope you said ones place because they are the sweet little babies here, the ones. So we always let the little babies go first. So our ones place over here gets to go first. I'm going to write tens over here. So we're going to add our ones place first. So the ones place that we're adding is 6 plus 5. So let's think about that for a minute. I'm going to start with the number 6 in my mind, and then I'm going to add 5 more. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11. Okay, so hold on a minute. I can't fit an 11 down here in this one place. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to take the 10 in that 11 and I'm going to have to trade it. I'm going to have to trade it all the way over here to my tens place. So I'm going to add 1 here and 1 here. Now I have 11, but my 11 is broken into 2 parts. It's broken into tens and ones. So I split my 11 in half. So I'm left with only a 1 over here in the ones place. Now in the tens place, we're ready to do our math over here. We got 1 plus 4 plus 3. So let's try that. 1 plus 4, that's 5. Now we have to add 3 more to 5. 5, 6, 7, 8. So I get to put my 8 over here. So check out what our answer is down here. I can take away my special line in the middle, and I got 81. So when you're doing these numbers, when you do an addition problem and you can't fit the whole number down here, make sure you're remembering to trade your tens over to the tens place or the next place over. Okay, so that's the review lesson for addition. Now let's try a subtraction problem because you guys also learned how to borrow numbers from the tens place or the hundreds place when you're doing subtraction. So let's do a subtraction problem like this. We're going to do 62 take away 45. So I got to do the same thing first. I have to split this in half to my tens and ones place. Ones still get to go first. And I'm going to start with this problem over here in the ones place. 2 take away 5. If I have 2, I can't take away 5 from it because it doesn't even have 5 in it. There's only 2. So there's something I have to do. I can't do this problem like this, 2 take away 5. I've got to borrow from my tens place to make this problem work. So instead of keeping this a 2, I'm going to slide a 1 right next to it. I'm going to sneak a 1 in there. And this 1 that I'm sneaking in here is actually a 10. He comes from this tens place. So I'm going to borrow from my next door neighbor the 6, this 10. So because I borrowed this 10 from him, he can't be 6 anymore because I took 1 away from him. So let's think, what would be 6 take away 1? 5. So instead of a 6, now he is a 5. So now I'm ready to do my math. I have borrowed my 10 from my neighbor. Whoop, I put it right there. My neighbor had to change. He's not a 6 anymore because I borrowed one of his 10, so now he's a 5. And now I'm ready to do my math. So now I'm ready to do 12, take away 5. Now that's a problem I can do. So there's a few ways I could do that. I'm going to start with the number 12 in my mind and count backwards. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. Now over here on this side, I've got 5, take away 4, right? My 6 is gone. He doesn't count anymore because we crossed him out. So 5, take away 4. Now that's an easy one. I could do that with my fingers. 5, take away 1, 2, 3, 4. Only got one left. So look what my answer has to be. 17. So that's a little review on the borrowing lesson. Okay, so if you're confused on how to do these subtraction or addition problems with bigger numbers or numbers that don't make sense, like 2 take away 5, you know you can't do that, right? You can go back to this video and try to remember how to do it. You borrow from your next door neighbor, and you slide the 10 in next to it. But of course, if you borrow from your neighbor, don't forget to change your neighbor. He can't stay the same once you borrow from him, okay? All right, so that was a good review. Now I want to show you what your assessment's going to look like. So it's got some of those addition and subtraction problems like the ones we just practiced. Now here in the middle section, this is greater than or less than. Do you remember that? So what you're going to put in the circle is you're going to put the greater than or less than symbol. And remember that it kind of looks like an alligator mouth. There they are. And the bigger number, does the alligator like to eat the bigger number or the smaller number? His mouth should always be open towards the biggest number. So I want you to try to remember that when you're doing your assessment, okay? And remember, this is something I want you to practice all by yourself. So it's not meant for any teacher or parent to help you with. It's meant for you to practice just so you can see how much you remember. It's kind of like a challenge, okay? All right, so have fun with that challenge. I can't wait to see them when you return them to me next week. Bye.